Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Hallie.
And this is Ainsley.
And we are super excited to start on this YouTube journey. One of the highly requested videos that people asked about was doing a video on being young parents. So we posted some questions on our Instagram stories and people wrote in asking questions, and so we're just gonna
take some time to answer them right now. So
yes. So question number one, what is the other person's strength as a parent?
When the baby is fussing, he's crying, he's throwing a temper tantrum, Hallie's really good at getting him to calm down. You know, I guess it's that mother instinct that all moms have, but she's just really good at, you know, making the baby again calm down and, you know, have a smile on his face.
I would say, you know, even though he says that I'm good at doing it, I think that when it comes to just taking initiative, I think that that is Ainsley's strong point. You know, if we are home and the baby needs something, I feel like he's the first one to jump up. You know, he doesn't just look at me and wait for me to go do it. You know, he takes, I think we take equal amount of responsibility with the baby. What do you think your own strength is?
As a dad, I mean, I'm a provider. I'm a caretaker. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't really think I'm strong in just one area. You know, I take care of the baby as far as, you know, getting him what he needs, his food and his clothes and things of that nature. I'm there for him emotionally when he cries. I take care of all of it. So I don't think I have one strength. And as a parent, you want to probably avoid just having one strength. You kind of got to be a Superman or a Superwoman, you know, superhero type.
How do you balance your mom and dad / social life?
Mom and dad / social life, a lot of times we actually bring the baby with us wherever we're going. There's nothing for us to just bring the baby along with us because they all love him as well and have a relationship with him. A
lot of times we do take the baby along with us, but we also do frequently go out, just the two of us. You know, I'd say we get a babysitter about once a week. You know, we make it a point to spend quality time together, even if that's just going out, you know, one Friday or Saturday night. I know that we also are really respectful of each other's wishes whenever it comes to what the other person wants to do. So like, I'll, you know, want to go out with, you know, my line sisters or something like that, and Ainsley will stay home with the baby while I go out and have my fun. And there are times whenever, you know, Ainsley will want to go out with the guys or go out with his friends. And I think it is important for your sanity to have time away. As much as, you know, we do love the time that we do spend with Elias, you know, it is important to, you know, have some adult time. So we do that.
Yep.
Boom, and just like that, we have a special guest, Elias.
Say what's up to the people.
He's a little sleepy. It's about his nap time. Who is the fun parent and who is the strict parent?
Only time will tell. I mean, with an infant, you really can't. With a baby, you can't really be so strict because they're going to do what they want to do anyway. So
I already have my feeling that Ainsley's going to be the more strict parent. And I say that because he's kind of strict now. Like, if we're walking in the house at night, he's like, you know, get inside quick. Like, that's just how he was raised. He's very protective, and so I could see him being that way, you know, in the future. Someone asked how it was for me traveling while I was preggo, so I guess it's only a question for me. Well, yeah, so while I was pregnant, I did do a lot of traveling, partially because of my job. I also made a longer voyage. Whenever I was 6 months pregnant, I went to Switzerland and Paris, well, Geneva, Switzerland, and then Paris, France. It was really empowering, honestly. You know, because whenever you're about to have a child, you know, you have a lot of emotions that kind of go through your head, and, you know, part of it is, you know, a lack of freedom in a sense. You know, that's where my mind went anyway. You know, how is my life going to change? You know, am I still going to be able to do the things that I've always wanted to do? You know, traveling being one of them. I've always wanted to go to France. So, you know, I just said, well, I'm going. And so to me, that was, you know, everybody else was like really scared. I wasn't really scared, but it was exciting because, you know, I traveled to France alone. You know, that was a solo trip. So it was, you know, it took a lot of courage to be able to be that far away in a place that you've never been, and you're carrying a child. It was interesting because while I don't think I was showing that much, like everybody knew I was pregnant, and it was funny to see the change in how, you know, people treated me in the US versus in other countries. We had to, it was like a layover in Portugal, and literally they treated me like I was royalty. Like they acted like I was carrying the king. Like it was, I mean I was, but you're supposed to lie.
I mean, he's not the king, no.
He is the king.
I'm the king. He's
Okay.
the prince.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, so they, you know, they were like, do we need to get you a wheelchair? You know, what can you get to eat? So it was, that part was nice. I was also at the time getting used to being pregnant. So I was getting used to the fact that, you know, this is not just my body anymore. And I think that that made it, you know, a magical experience in itself. The first time I ever felt the baby kick was actually in Switzerland. So that's like a cool little fun fact. So it was like a magical experience. Yeah.
Magical.
Well, I mean, you're growing a human. That's pretty magical.
Yeah, you're right.
What is the hardest part of parenting at a young age?
I feel like when you're young, that's when you're really supposed to be out hustling, grinding, making things happen, you know, meeting people. And while all of that is still possible when you have a kid, it is 10 to 100 times harder because you still got to make sure your kid is taken care of before anything else. And then also, you know, you have to, when you do want to go out, you really have to plan, coordinate, and find somebody that can watch your kid, somebody that you trust to watch your kid. So those are probably the two hardest things for me. But you know, I'm still happy that I had a kid at a young age. I always kind of knew I would have a kid at a young age. So. Yeah.
Is that right? For me, the single hardest thing would be getting stuff done whenever you're at home. You know, a lot of times I'll be working on stuff for, you know, one of our businesses. Excuse me. And I'll be, you know, on my computer trying to type something up, and yet I'm having to watch him to make sure, you know, again, he's not putting something in his mouth because he loves to do everything he's not supposed to. When I'm home with him, I just give him my undivided attention, and then whenever Ainsley gets home, you know, that's more so when we share the responsibility of, you know, he'll be looking and playing with the baby while I'm able to get a few things done, and then, you know, switch back and forth. But that is definitely the most challenging part.
Yeah, I would agree.
Do you want more kids? And then the other question that kind of ties in, when are y'all giving me another nephew?
First of all, who wrote that? When are y'all giving me another nephew thing?
It was one of my line sisters.
Who? So I gotta have a talk with that person because
I'm pretty sure it was Regina, but
okay.
I think it was Regina.
Coming for you, Regina. Coming for you.
Yeah.
Do we want more kids? Yes. When we have the amount of money to, you know, warrant having another child. Which shouldn't, you know, take too much longer. But you know, having a kid is not a toy. they cost money. They take up a lot of time, so it's something that we have to really think long and hard about.
Yeah, so I want 5. And he's shaking his head, but he has agreed up until we had Elias. He agreed with 5 until we had Elias, and now what's the new number?
2.
He's lying.
like I said, man, if we have more than 2 kids, I definitely want to have a nanny, like somebody that.
But how many kids do you want? Like,
I mean, I would be down for 5, but we would definitely at 5 there would be a nanny, you know, living with us. So, and I'm being very serious. I'm not just saying that.
Okay, so I want 5. As far as when we want the next one, stay tuned. All right. You just have to see when you see. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
They want to see the day that I go polyester.
Oh my gosh.
Cut from a different cloth, from a different fabric.
What baby education tools do we use? That is a true India question.
Baby educational tools. So when it comes to that, like, we definitely take long trips, Elias and I, to the library, and we study calculus and nanophysics. You know, that's primarily what. No, I'm kidding. With a baby, right? You obviously can't do things like that. So what we do is try to read to him as much as possible, and then just help him to develop social skills. So make sure that he's around, you know, some other kids. I know that Hallie and one of her other friends, they went to the Kids Museum together in Greensboro, and he got to play with toys and socialize with other kids. So yeah, that's mainly what we try to focus on, social developmental skills. So, yeah.
And the last question, how do you balance marriage and having a child?
They're one and the same. You don't. For me, that's my answer, for real. Like, you. I mean, if maybe somebody out there can give us tips on that, because I don't think we figured that out yet. You know, it's only been 9 months, so I'm not going to beat ourselves up about it, but
I think we do pretty good. You don't think so?
I mean, I really don't think they conflict one another right now. So I guess that's where I'm kind of trying to go with it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, you know, like I said before, we schedule, you know, private time with, you know, we go out together and we have our little date nights. And then, you know, I think, like he said, you know, it's not really a issue right now. A lot of times whenever we do go out, the one thing that we find is that we're ready to get home. Like, I can think of at least 4 or 5 times that we were out on a nice date and we were just like, we were ready to get back home to our baby. So we've left early.
Because
so,
you know, sometimes we just keep him at home by himself because he's pretty advanced. I mean, that's kind of what you made it seem like. We can't wait to get home to our baby.
So I think that our favorite time usually is spent with him as a family. I know for me, one thing that you know, Ainsley will always say, let's go to the park, and we'll go to the park, we'll sit outside, and that's just quality time that I feel like grows our marriage, but also you know, grows our
baby's experiences.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think they build simultaneously.
Had to save you. I feel like you're having a brain freeze.
Yeah, I was. So that is all for our little segment on being young parents.
We appreciate you guys for, you know, taking the time to watch this video, and make sure you subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And comment, share, you know.
Tell all your friends.
All of the above.
Yeah.
But deuces, see you next time.
Bye. Just in time.